Alright, last page. Alright, we're at 65. So we got negative 5s to the 4th minus 2s to the 3rd. Oh, hang on. I'm not sure what I was doing there. This is negative 5x to the 6th, and then we got a 5s to the 4th minus 2s to the 3rd plus 5s minus 5. Alright, so we're going to distribute this thing into all these, right? And then we're going to be combining exponents, right? And we're also going to be multiplying numbers. So negative 5 times 5 is negative 25, and then our s's combined to become s to the 10th, right? Then negative 5 times negative 2 is a positive 10, and then our s's combined there, and we get s to the 9th power, plus, and then 5 times negative 5 is a negative 25. And then this is just one more s than that one, so it's s to the 7th. And then negative 5 times negative 5 is 25 again, and then we just keep our s's that were with this one. So this is our total answer. Okay, 66. We got 9z plus 5. And then we got z to the 2nd minus 3z plus 2. Right? So when we're doing this, we got to FOIL them. We say FOIL, but this FOIL really doesn't work for this because we don't just have first and outside, inside, and a last. We got a middle one too. It'd be kind of weird for us to come up with an acronym for this one. So let's just roll with it. Basically what we're going to be doing first is multiplying this one times this one times this one, and then we're going to come back and do our last one times this one times this one, and then times this one, right? So let's do the first one. 9z times z squared is a 9z to the 3rd. Okay? And then 9z times negative 3z is a negative 27z squared, right? And then 9z times 2 is 18z, right? And then we're doing 5. Now 5z is going to be 5z squared. Okay. Then 5 times negative 3 is going to be a negative 15z. And then 5 times 2 is just 10. Okay. And now we combine like terms. Well, we don't have anything that combines with this 9z to the cubed, right? So we'll just put that there. Now these, right, these can work together. So we got a negative 27 that we're combining with a 5. That 5 just brings this 27 down to be negative 22 z to the 2nd, right? And now we're going to combine this one with this one. So we got an 18 minus 15, which is 3z, right? And then we just got our plus 10 left over. So this is going to be our answer for this one. Okay, 67. This one's just straight foiling now, so that's nice. We got a 2v plus 5, and then a 9v minus 4, right? So let's do our first ones. 2v times 9v gives us an 18v. 2 times 9 is 18, and v times v is v squared. Okay? Then we do our outsides, right? So 2v times negative 4 is negative 8v. Now we're going to do our inside terms, so 5 times 9v is 45v. And then 5 times negative 4 is a negative 20. So the only two terms we can combine are these two terms right here. Right? So our 18v squared stays the same. And really this negative 8 just brings down our 45 just a tad, so it's going to be 37v now. That's minus 20. And that's our answer there. 68. We got 4x plus 7y. And then 4x minus 7y. Now, if a lot of you are keen on this, you'll realize that this is the difference of squares. We have the same numbers here. We have the same numbers here. The only difference between these expressions is that one of them's plus and one of them's minus. When we have that type of scenario, we don't have to do that middle term, because if we did the middle terms, we'd get 4x times negative 7y gives us a negative 28xy, and then if we did this one, we'd get a positive 28xy, and those would just cancel away. So we just have to do this first term times this first term, which is just a 16x squared, and we just have to do the last terms together, and this is a positive and a negative, so this is going to give us a negative, and then 7 times 7 is 49, and then y times y is y squared. So that's going to be our answer there. 69. Alright, we got 4a plus 4b squared. Oh, 4b squared. Squared's on the outside. Okay. Now, this one's another quick scenario, right? We're used to doing these fast. When we do these, we just multiply our first term times itself. We basically square the first term, so it's going to be a 16a squared. Okay? Now our second step is the one that's kind of tricky. Okay? So now we take this term and multiply it times this term. So that's going to give us a 20ab, right? And then we're going to double it. Okay? And I'll talk about how we do this after we get done. So that gives us, after we double it, 20ab, we're going to get a 40ab. And then we just square the last term. So we're just going to square that, which gives us a 25b squared. Now the reason that we got this is because we're doing this 4a plus 5b. If we did it, if we drew this thing out, I want to make this long and complicated and did it the long way, we'd get a, when we did the outside, we'd get a 20ab. And then when we did the inside together, we'd get another 20ab. And the easiest thing to do is just to double that, right? And that would give us that 40ab that we came up with. You can see that our 4a's and our 5b's created those two as well. Alright, number 70. We got 8x to the 4th minus 28x to the 3rd minus 12x squared plus 20x. And dividing this by 4x. Okay. Now, when I don't have to do it by an expression like we're going to have to do in 71, I really like to just set these over each other. So basically what I do is I just independently place these underneath each other. So this is going to be an 8x to the 4 over a 4x minus 28x cubed over that 4x, and minus our 12x squared over that 4x, and then plus 20x over 4x. And I'm going to do the operation on every single one where I'm going to reduce everything. Okay, I'm going to reduce my numbers. 4 will go into 8 twice, right? And then we eliminate 1x here and 1x here. This goes down to x to the third, so that's what I get there. Okay. On this one, I'm doing 28 divided by 4, which is 7. And this cancels that x away, and that becomes x squared, right? So again, 12 divided by 4 is 3, right? And then we cancel away this x and cancel one away there, so we're just left with an x there. Okay? And then 20 divided by 4 is 5. Not that 5 weird, but and then our x's just cancel away there. So that's our final answer on that one. That was plain and simple. All right. Now we're going to do this big, long division problem. Once you get to college algebra, they'll teach you the synthetic way of doing this, and you'll probably like that one better because it's shorter. But we're going to do this one kind of the old grade school method of taking this thing down. But we're going to set it up this way. We're going to set it up to where our numerator is our division housing, right? I have a hard time remembering which one's the dividend and the divisor and all that. I think that's the dividend and divisor. I think that's how it goes. But anyways, basically what we're going to do for these is just think what we're going to use to get this x to be this x squared, right? So really I just need to multiply it times an x to get it to be an x squared. So that's what we're going to multiply this first thing by. So we put that in that second place after it because we got two things here and we're starting here. That's how we do it. But let's continue on. So we're going to multiply this x times this x, which gives us an x squared. And then we're going to multiply our x times our negative 7, which gives me a negative 7x. Right. And anytime we're doing this, that's what we do. And then we subtract these things. Well, when we subtract them, we're going to switch the signs. This becomes a negative x squared. This becomes a positive 7x. Okay? Which makes these cancel, which is what we were intending to do anyways. That was kind of our game plan. But now we're going to do the math on this. So this is negative $16. And if we had negative $16 in our bank and we added 5 to our bank account, or added 7 to our bank account, that would give us a negative 9 in our bank account. Okay? And so then we just bring down our next thing. This is plus 63. Okay? Now we know to get our x to be negative 9x, all we need is just a negative 9, right? And once we multiply that negative 9 times our x, we get a negative 9x. Right? And then we do negative 9 times negative 7, which gives us a positive 63. And these are mirrored, right? And they will cancel once we do this subtraction, right? Because this causes things to flip. So now we got a positive 9x, which causes those to cancel. And a negative 63 combined with a positive 63. So this all just turns to 0. So we don't have a remainder. So this is what this divides by. So it's x minus 9. All right. 72. This says if f of x equals negative 3x, so f of x equals negative 3x plus 5, it says find f of 5. So really we're just doing f of 5. And all this really means is that we're substituting this out. This 5 is going to go in place of our x. So this is just negative 3 times 5 plus 5, right? And negative 3 times 5 is negative 15 plus 5 more, right? And negative 15 plus 5 is just a negative 10. So our f of 5 equals negative 10. And that concludes it. Thank y'all for watching the review.